the 141 pounds just became a whole lot more exciting. Now, 141 pounds was already exciting, but after this past week, when Luke Pletcher knocked off the number 1 ranked wrestler in Dom Demas of Oklahoma, things just heated up massively. It was an exciting weekend of wrestling, and Pletcher showed us that D1 wrestling is so much fun to watch. Now, if you're on this video, if you love wrestling, I want to invite you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because all season long, I'm going to be talking all about the college wrestling landscape, especially now here at 141 pounds. Now, Michigan State Open is where these two met at the beginning of the season. You don't see a lot of number 1 versus number 2, number 1 versus number 3 guys early on. And this was the case where it happened. Now, these two wrestled in the finals at the Michigan State Open. Dom Demas was the highest returning placer at 141 pounds. Pletcher, of course, is a 2-time All-American. 4th place he took last year. And if you don't know, Pletcher, of course, from Ohio State University. Now, Demas showed a very strong showing throughout the entire tournament. He started out a little rough with just a decision. I believe it was in an overtime match. Ended up with a tech, a fall, and a tech again until he ultimately lost to Luke Pletcher in the tiebreaker, in the second tiebreaker, whenever he was ridden out by Luke Pletcher. Now, Pletcher had an incredible tournament with bonus point victories in every single match except his finals match against Demas, where he went into OT. And I wouldn't expect, I would be crazy surprised if Pletcher went ahead and, scored bonus points against Demas, but obviously that didn't happen. What I think's exciting here, what I think's interesting here, is you don't usually see Pletcher scoring a lot of points. He's the guy that wins matches. I love to see him win matches. He wins matches, but he usually does keep it pretty close. And I think that was kind of not the case here. He seems to be opening up a bit. And I love to see Pletcher score some more points. It's early on in the season. He isn't necessarily wrestling all ranked guys, but the fact that he beat the number 1 guy is very, very exciting. The score of that match was 2-1. Now, the other thing here is we saw Pletcher and a guy named Dylan Duncan of Illinois wrestle actually previously in previous seasons, when Pletcher only beat Duncan by a decision. But what's interesting here is that he just majored him. He majored him this time. He majored him at the Michigan State Open, and he's shown that he's widening that gap and moving up to 141 pounds. I think this was, fairly recent news that I was interested to see how Pletcher was actually going to do here. Well, he just beat the number 1 guy, so that shows up. Now, the next guy that he's probably going to have to beat is, of course, Nick Lee. Nick Lee is going to be that guy that if he beats him, then he's showing real strong potential to be a national champion. Of course, Demas beat Nick Lee last year at the national tournament, but Pletcher has yet to wrestle Nick Lee. Now, the next time they're going to wrestle is probably not going to be until the Ohio State versus Penn State duel in February. But a couple of the other competitors in the field, of course, you have Grant Leith, Mitch McKee of Minnesota. You have Tariq Wilson, who I'm very interested to see how he does this year. Max Murin is a guy at 141 from Iowa. Murin versus Pletcher, that could be very exciting. 2 Pennsylvania guys wrestling at these Big Ten schools. And then Real Woods, there were a couple guys here at 141 that had some strong tournament wins, strong wins over the season. Real Woods beat Cedarian Perry at the Battle of the Citadel, and then Josh Heil actually won the Southeast Open. So all these guys in the competitors in 141 pounds are going to be exciting to see how we do this season.